All right, it's 9:21. Of course, we've got to bring it back here to Grand Rapids, where World of Winter, you know, the big winter art installation that's been happening over the last several months.
Yes.
We are now in the final days. It's been running since early January, and Bill Kirk with Downtown GR is here with us this morning. First of all, thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate your time. Tell us how World of Winter has been going this season.
Yeah, it's been a great festival. We've been dealing with a lot of different weather.
Yeah.
But compared to last year, this was like more of a consistent, just snowy winter, which is nice. That's kind of the point, right? But no, it's been great. We've been having featured weekend events every weekend since the beginning of January. Seen great attendance.
I mean, look at some of the things that have been happening.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
We try to make it a bit of a spectacle when we throw these events. We always station our events around some of these large-scale art installations that we bring in. But yeah, like I mentioned, we've just been seeing the community really come out and support and enjoy World of Winter. So we've really been enjoying the festival. You know, people sauning there, as you can see.
Which is so fun.
Yeah, that was the first night. But in general, we've seen a great impact. Lots of visitors downtown, lots of residents coming to check out the festival. So we've had a ball.
Yeah, I'll get to the impact like you were talking about. I know a lot of people get downtown to see some of these installations, which in turn, of course, is pretty good for our local businesses.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second, but I mean, just what have you been hearing feedback-wise from the people? I mean, and you can see that there are a lot of people downtown for some of these events. What are you hearing from them? Are they enjoying it? What are they saying?
Yeah, we definitely get some really positive feedback, certainly from our downtown businesses for the impact that it has, bringing more foot traffic downtown. But just this past weekend, we had our Paint the Park event down at Rosa Park Circle, which is a very family-friendly event. The kids get to go out there and actually paint the ice skating rink. So it's always fun to get to those events and hear from people that they're just happy that there's something to do on the weekends, bring the family down to enjoy. So the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. People generally enjoy the variety of events that we have, right? So we do a lot of family-friendly stuff. We do a lot of walking tours. We also do like a silent disco. We've had a couple other DJ events, so we try to have something for everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, last year we called it the 2-week winter. We had barely any winter weather. What has this season been like for you guys in comparison to some of those milder winters? Have you still had people out? Has it been better? You know, it is World of Winter after
people
all,
are like,
right?
winter, we need it.
Yeah, no, it's been tracking very similar to last year from an attendance perspective. I was laughing before the interview. We were remembering last year for our opening weekend, we had too much snow, so we had to cancel a couple events. We had a big storm our opening weekend. Also dealt with some rain and some flooding last year, so it's different every year. But what we've seen year over year is that, you know, we live in a pretty resilient West Michigan community as far as weather goes. So people tend to come out regardless of the weather. And this year we've tried to give some tips and tricks on like what to wear when it's really cold, that sort of stuff. But
as if it's not Michigan and we should already know what to wear out there, right?
Hey, all the tips can help because you'd be surprised. I see those high schoolers come out of school sometimes. I'm like, where are your
They're
coats?
wearing shorts
you know,
or something.
They need the tips coming to the event.
Certainly, there's certainly some folks out there that need that. But yeah, in general, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, a huge variety of events, great attendance, and generally really great feedback.
Yeah, talking about great attendance, you've touched on it in my earlier question. You know, what are some of the local businesses down there saying? Because the video that we were looking at, I believe, is in the Monroe North neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of local businesses there. I know that some of the other spots are around downtown Grand Rapids. I mean, we have local businesses basically on every street corner.
Yeah.
So what are they saying when they see all of these people experiencing World of Winter, and then they pop into their shop and have, you know, maybe a beer or a coffee or a bite to eat?
Yeah, definitely we do see increased foot traffic during what are typically our coldest and kind of dreariest months. But we hear a lot of good feedback from businesses up in North Monroe, Sweetwaters and Noodle Pig and Speakeasy up there. They get a lot of good traffic because we try to have a ton of activity around 555 Monroe and 6th Street Park and Canal Park. But then, as you mentioned, really all over downtown. So Monroe Center, we're always activating Rosa Park Circle. Even down Division, we partnered with a couple businesses on Division this year to bring a new event, a fashion show event. So this was on the Gillette Bridge, but we partnered with Second Vibes. They're a vintage and sort of upcycle apparel company. So we try to involve as many different sectors of downtown as we can. But in general, we see people discovering businesses for the first time, which is always really cool, or people that have come back and give repeat business. So it's a really positive impact.
Yeah, it sounds like it is. And actually a few weeks ago I was downtown with my parents, and what is it, Monroe Center Drive, that I think is that what it's called?
Yeah, Monroe Center.
Yeah, Monroe Center.
Yep.
It was blocked off, and there were a bunch
Yeah.
of food trucks there. Was that part of World of Winter?
Yeah, so
Okay.
when we have weekend events down there, we do try to do that first block of Monroe Center, block it off,
nice.
and we'll
Okay.
have food trucks. We've had live drumming and music. We've had different activities with partners at the Children's Museum and the Grand Rapids Art Museum. So we really try to do our best to just activate that whole area as kind of like an interactive place to not only check out the ice skating rink or the art installations, but check out the businesses and enjoy the street.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Truly is what makes Grand Rapids so unique. So kind of in the final stretch here, are there any events left?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes. So we have
There's
a couple
weekend events too.
Yeah, we have one of our favorites this weekend on Saturday, the Noodle Fest at Calder Plaza.
Yeah, tell
Oh,
us about that. What's
yes.
that all
That's
about?
a good
Noodle Fest
one.
is awesome. We partner with the Grand Rapids Asian Pacific Foundation on Noodle Fest, and we have all these different chefs and restaurants that enter a noodle dish into a contest. So
Fun.
up on Calder Plaza, you can go try a bunch of incredible food, and then you get to vote on the best noodle dish. So we crown a winner for that. And this is underneath or adjacent to one of the biggest installations we brought in this year called Chronoharp,
Okay.
which is just a beautiful sound and light installation right there on Calder Plaza. So that's on Saturday from 11 to 6 at Calder Plaza, but we also have a couple walking tours left. We partner with Caroline Cook in Grand Rapids Running Tours on those. She's fantastic. Tomorrow on Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m., we have an African American history on the Grand River walking tour. These are free to attend. You just meet at Rose Park Circle at 6 o'clock. You can plan on about an hour.
You go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly, and get a little education on the history of GR. And then the last walking tour we have is Sunday, same time, 6 to 7 p.m. at Rosa Park Circle. And this is just our art installation walking tour. So if you haven't seen any of the installations, great way to check them out before the festival packs up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, festival packing up this coming weekend. Let's talk about the planning. So,
Yeah.
of course, I'm sure that you guys are already thinking of ideas for the next festival that
Yeah.
you guys will have here, the World of Winter
Isn't it
Festival.
funny how you jump
I know,
ahead?
it's
You're like,
always
you haven't even wrapped one up, and then
immediately.
yeah,
working
you're
months
thinking
ahead. Yeah. So, what does that planning look like? Are you guys
Yeah.
already looking at things, or are you guys, taking a few months off before you really start to get into the nitty gritty of planning
Yeah.
2026 World of Winter?
Yeah, well, there's always, as we go through the festival, our team is always like kind of taking notes, like what worked well, what
Yeah.
kind of feedback
Sure.
have we gotten, and that informs the next year. Our events and activation team, who are on the ground, fixing installations, dealing with the weather, they're really doing the hard work. So they usually take a couple days off to sleep after the festival ends, as well deserved. But from a planning perspective, it really is kind of a year-long process. We usually put out a global call for art entries in April. So we start soliciting artists to come and show their work in the spring. We make selections over the next couple months, and the planning really never stops. Obviously, it heats up as we get into fall and winter time.
Sure.
But so we get a little bit of a break, but we turn it on pretty quickly right after the festival ends.
It's always something that you guys are probably like, all right, this week I'm going to work on this little segment
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
of the festival, and here and here and here.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's really cool. I want to go back to something that you said about when you open it up to artists that may want to come and show something at World of Winter. There was something on the website this year that was actually shown at a festival I went to in Cincinnati a few years
nice.
ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
At Blink in Cincinnati.
Oh, Blink's
Yeah,
amazing.
Blink's great.
Yeah.
But I think that installation was actually here
Yeah.
for one of the World of Winters. I can't remember if it was this year or last year. But how does that process work? So you open that up. Do you start hearing from people around the world immediately, or what's the range of this, and
Sure.
how does that all work?
Yeah, so there are some artist collectives around the world that do a lot of these traveling festivals
Okay.
or traveling installations to these festivals. So we've built relationships up over the years with some of our sort of regulars that we work with. So there's always interest from them, and if they've shown it at World of Winter before, they're always kind of thinking like, what can I do next year to
Sure.
sort of up the level of what we've done. But then we get new folks reaching out every year, which is really cool.
Yeah.
We had a couple of our bigger installations that debuted in Grand Rapids this year that will now travel to other festivals around the world.
Very cool.
And then also on the flip side of the international art, we've got a handful of local artists that we work with here who year over year have started to build bigger installations, come with bigger proposals. So it's a really good mix, but the interest happens pretty quickly after we kind of put that call out. And
People need to be ready.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
I mean, if you've seen any of these installations, I mean, they are
spectacular.
They're not just works of art; it's industrial engineering, you know. So the work never really stops on the artist end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about, obviously you mentioned the couple of art installations that got their start here. They're going to travel around the world. It really does kind of put Grand Rapids on that international stage in that sense, right? I mean, that's got to mean a world to the folks at Downtown GR for this, right?
Yeah, we're super grateful that there's the level of interest that we see every year from these amazing artists from all over the world. As I mentioned, some of our local artists, to see them sort of like be able to connect with and learn from these international artists, because a lot of times when they're coming to install the big work, they'll stay in Grand Rapids for a week or two, and then we get to make some of these creative connections with folks. But yeah, as far as putting us on the map, we're just thrilled that every year we get the interest that we get to see the art installations that come in. And based on the amount of time, the length of the festival, the amount of art installations we have, the amount of walking tours and events we have, this is the largest winter festival in America. So
Okay. Wow.
Incredible.
pretty stoked
That's
about
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, that's a really, really fun fact. What is kind of your guys' overall mission of World of Winter, and do you feel like you achieved it this year?
Yeah, we're always trying to push ourselves, obviously, to create as good of a festival as we can that appeals to everybody. But our mission with the festival really started out as trying to just enliven the calendar in January and February in Grand
Yes,
Rapids.
we all need that.
Yeah, as you guys know,
The winter blues.
Right. Things can get a little quiet around here in those really middle of the winter months. So our mission with the festival was to really create some vibrancy and some activity downtown during those couple of months. And if you look back, 10, 15 years ago in Grand Rapids, the event calendar was pretty sparse outside of the summertime. Now we see really events, not just downtown, but all over the city year round. So I think we've accomplished at least a piece of that. We're always, as I mentioned, kind of trying to push ourselves to make it bigger and better. But we're thrilled to see how many people enjoy the outdoors in Grand Rapids in January and February. Like that's something that's really special to us.
Yeah, well, it certainly
Yeah.
seems like you achieved that from our end.
think
I mean,
so.
every time you go downtown, I'm blown away. I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at
Yeah.
that. Gorgeous. Gives you a reason to get out and about.
Yeah.
I'm certainly curious, though. I mean, with these festivals, sometimes you do get people from all across the country. Where was the furthest person that you've heard was in town
That
for
traveled
this?
in. I mean,
Yeah.
we're always hosting groups from around Michigan that will reach out to us and say, hey, we want to come check out World of Winter. I could say, I know we've had some people from the East Coast visit, and we'll have to check in. We do track the activity that comes in. We have a service that we use to measure the amount of visits, and we
Okay.
can look at the geography of those.
That's
So
pretty cool.
We do see that a ton of folks come regionally, like outside of Kent County, which is great to see. But we'll have to check and see the furthest American visitors, see if
we'll have
grabbed
to
anywhere
follow
from
up with you on
California
that
or
because I'm
something.
interested
Yeah.
to see, because I've been to a number of these festivals and they'll be like, oh, so and so from Florida was here,
Yeah.
so and so like traveled all the way in from Nebraska to look at this
Yeah.
Yeah.
art. So pretty cool. Well, Bill, we really do appreciate your time. Is there anything else that we didn't ask you that you think is important to talk about as it pertains to this year's World of Winter, or maybe some in the future?
Yeah, I guess we would just say thank you to the community and to folks like y'all for helping us promote the festival. Kudos to our team. A lot of hard work went into this one, but with a couple days left, we would just encourage people to get out and see the art before it goes. Join us
Absolutely.
at Calder Plaza on Saturday and eat some noodles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why wouldn't you want to go
Right.
and have a warm cup of
Noodles,
noodles?
art.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, just we're grateful that we get to do this, and we're grateful for everybody that helped us put the festival on.
All right, Bill
Yeah.
with Downtown Grand Rapids. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.